Hi there. Good afternoon, Karen. Hi, nice to see you too. Look at this, everyone. There is Mary Beth out here, and it is a beautiful, beautiful hot day. You finding it hot?
Yes, I'm finding it a bit warm.
Yeah, a bit warm. I'm just gonna make sure our volume's on. Full. Oh, it is good. Oh,
But it's beautiful.
it is. We walked down from the house. Hi, Rosie. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all. So it's 1:15. It is outside is probably 28 degrees Celsius. The high is 32 today. So hi, Polly. Good afternoon. Nice to see you. It is a lovely day. There, hold on. I'm just going to turn this around so everyone can see canoe going by. So we're just off on the path of the ancestors here. And just off, this is the Clearwater. I walked down with Mary Beth very specifically to the canoe club because when she stayed last winter, she came down cold plunging with me one day. It's the exact same place. So lots of, well, not just young people, but people from all over sitting around, cooking themselves in the sun. There's the train bridge. Pretty much anytime you see graffiti, although we are seeing a little graffiti now on garbage bins, and it really bothers me. So, hey, Allison up in the Highlands. I wonder if you're having nice weather up there because we're getting long, long days here right now. Nice to see you. So I'm hanging out here with my friend Mary Beth, who also is planning a trip to Scotland at some point. Yeah, you're thinking about London, and so is Diane's thinking about Ireland and Scotland. So you know what? I haven't put up a tour for a few days. It's nice, and Mary Beth wants to have a beaver tail.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
there is a beaver that lives along here. So we're going to try and catch it and pull the tail off. It's quite a process. But yeah, it is a lovely day. Oh, sorry, that's a person swimming. That was an animal jumping. This is a little warmer here. But no, it's a lovely, lovely day, and it's less smoky in the air. So a couple of quick things that I just thought I would share before we get walking. I'm gonna walk Mary Beth as far as Banff Avenue, where she's gonna go for Beaver Tail and do some shopping.
Yes.
I don't shop, so then
And I do.
I'll have a cold drink. Well, no, fair enough. You don't live here, too.
Yeah.
She's actually going to go into the shop where Finn has just resigned because he's got other plans for the summer. So, a couple of things. Just about a half hour ago, no, 45 minutes ago, started getting the news that that Biden is stepping down. I almost feel like not that people necessarily care specifically about my opinion, but I've got messages from 24 people already. I did win a $100 bet, by the way. That with my buddy who said, "Oh, he won't step down." So, but you know, I go Kamala, and I wondered if he would have resigned and she would become president, you know, for a period of time. Doesn't seem to be. But it's all about, I think, and I'm very transparent about my beliefs. I think it's very important that the United States does not descend into fascism or autocracy, which is what's happening right now. So that is the best choice. Other interesting thing, well, it is the best choice. I think I just wish that it had happened 2 weeks ago. Or I wish that it had happened during Trump's speech. Other thing, I was out for a bike ride this morning. I did, what did I tell you in miles? 22 or something. It was over 30 kilometers, but that was fine.
Nice.
I go around the golf course. Coming back, I got this close to getting hit by a car today. Now,
But he didn't get hit.
I didn't. No, it just was one of those things where I was coming out through, I'd stopped to drink some water, then I was just, oh, hey, Michelle. Yes, it is a momentous day. You're absolutely right. And then suddenly, and this is when you live in a tourist town, there's a guy looking for parking. He pulls out. And I think the entire area around the Bow Falls, which was just getting busy, heard me yell at him and yell a word that you don't hear me say very often. So, hi, Ken. Nice to see you. So let's go for the walk. So we're on the path of our ancestors here. I am in vertical again because suddenly on YouTube I don't have the option of going into the landscape mode. For some reason, I tried to start in landscape and it just wouldn't work. So I don't know why that's missing from mine, because when I've checked with other people, it's not missing from theirs. So who knows? Well, it was a terrifying possible future anyway. So let's all unite around goodness. So I'm happy to contribute any way I can. Obviously, I'm a Canadian citizen, so I don't vote in the United States. You know, and it's, anyway, let's switch around and we'll talk about it. So the flowers are all everywhere. And my friend, the landscape thing it's annoying and it's just not adjusting. So I can focus in on things a bit better, but YouTube wants it. It's its preferred form because it's easier to have the chat come up, but I have no idea why that happens, because I had the option to adjust it. Now I do not. So this thing here is called the Path of the Ancestors. So archaeological remains along the shores of nearby Vermilion Lakes reveal that people have been living in the Bow Valley for as long as 11,000 years. Newer evidence suggests more like 14,000 years. Oh, hi, Anne. Yes. Anne's just saying, well, you know what, Anne? I actually don't listen to or read American news at all. I use a whole series of different news feeds, and I just stay off. Because even CNN, which is meant, they call it left, it's still right-wing to me. But it's always sound bites rather than in-depth. Anyway, that was the original entrance. Did I ever show you this picture? That was the original entrance into the national parks. It's down by Exshaw, Alberta, near Mount Yamnuska. And there's a picture of that. The big picture of it is actually at Chateau Lake Louise. And then over here is our train station that we still have today, 1910. But bonjour. But this is, of course, Treaty 7 territory. And lots happening now. I am not going out of town without my bear spray. And that is because all the berries are starting to come out now. So that is exciting. We're just around back of the hospital. And if you need to have your ACL reconstructed, great place to do that. Hopefully you don't have to. But up in the distance there is Sulphur Mountain. But so many of you already know this area. Feel free to share this video, and you know our YouTube is gradually growing. We're only 1 million people away from making a living at it. But what's so nice with this blue sky up top here is it's not too hazy. There's a little bit of smoke in the air, but not as much. You will hear it in my voice just a little bit. I react so much. But you know, yesterday I went out mountain biking rather than road biking intentionally because the air quality was not as good. And then today, though, I went out on the bike early, and it's exactly this. So it's 1:20 in the afternoon here, and you'll see how busy you get. Is that a little... Oh, you're not a junco. Hold on. Look at you. You're a little nuthatch, I think. Actually has... Oh, thing about little birds is they fly away. So go up. The canoe club is great. More people are saying hi to you, Mary Beth.
Hi.
So there, I'll give you a quick view of young Amby.
Everybody.
How many times have you been to Banff now, do you think?
Oh, 6 or 8.
Yeah, 6 or 8. So maybe 7.
7.
So quite a lot of times, which is good. Now the river is already, we've hit high water. It's already starting to come down. I'll give you a little sneak peek right out there. So this is where the clear water from the Vermilion Lakes comes seeping around, and it meets the almost pure, not quite, but getting to be more pure glacial water. Hi, Ms. Goss, nice to see you here. So the almost pure glacial water that's coming down the valley here. By the way, everyone, it's so nice to say hi to everyone that I know, but when you watch the replays, you don't see the chat on here, so that's why I tend to avoid saying people's names too much, just because it wouldn't make any sense when people rewatch these. And I see they get rewatched a lot. You know, the last one I did, there were 20 or 30 people live, but it's been viewed something like 500 times. That's pretty cool.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so you're going to be famous all over the world, Mary Beth.
Wow.
Yeah, so everyone is feeling very sporty and international out here. For us, it's hot. I have my zinc sunscreen on that the dermatologist made me buy. I'd love to know what his profit of that was. But still, it is worth it because I'm out so much of the time. So let's just come down by the river here. I'm not going to walk straight into the canoe club because these are all the people lining up to take canoes out. But by the way, if you do want, somebody's saying you're already famous, but if you do want to rent canoes, I really recommend doing it here rather than at Chateau Lake Louise, because at Lake Louise, you're going to pay $135 an hour, and still the people staying there, spending $1,000, $1,500 a night, only get priority. They don't even get a discount. But I do want to just come up around the little corner here and just show you the river, and then we're going to sort of head into town because I have to show Mary Beth where to get her beaver tail. But I just want to show you here for a second. See those big canoes with the Canadian flags on them? They are obviously tourist canoes now, but those are voyageur canoes. Now, the voyageurs were the people, mostly French-Canadian, overwhelmingly French-Canadian, who worked for the Northwest Company, which eventually was fused with the Hudson's Bay Company in 1821. And they would travel in these 20-person canoes. And of course, it was all about the fur trade. Now, the French fur trade got as far in as where Toronto is today. I'm just trying to remember the guy's name. Etienne Brûlé. He started that fort. And then they would travel inland, but they always had to come back to Montreal to get paid. And so all of those men, why don't we go up to the next? It'll just be nicer than the busy street there. So all of those men, of course, would meet, thank you very much, Nat, would meet women. Oh, by the way, here's the last bit of our wild roses, see? They came out about, 3.5 weeks ago. And so this is wild rose country here. And but they have now pretty much come and gone. So there's just someone right behind your bike. That's okay. Don't move. So and these are where you pick up your pouch for your dog poop, which is important. And there's one lovely totem up there as well. So these men who would come out in those voyageur canoes, of course, they'd end up in these different forts and they would trade, and lonely men meet, lonely women, but they would have babies. But the men had to go back to Montreal in order to get paid. But the kids of these mixed marriages were raised out on the Great Plains, and they end up becoming the birth of the Métis Nation, a true Turtle Island culture. So again, please do start to spread the term. Rather than calling us North America, we will be Turtle Island here forevermore, because that was our name for years and years and years. The old boathouse on the bow right there. Isn't that lovely? So nice little, look at these big, and they really are wild roses because they're prickly bushes. Yep. Now they smell beautiful when they first come out. I don't know, is there much smell to them now? Yeah, still, isn't that lovely? Yeah. So it is so nice. By the way, some of you, as we walk along in all these videos, you see the diversity of people around here. You might have seen I did a little short down by the area I swim in the summer, and my phone just picked up everybody talking, and you hear like 3 accents and 2 languages, just in a 30-second clip. I love that. Look, these are Douglas fir, this beautiful big tree. That tree is probably 300 years old. Yeah, right there underneath us. Oops. Yeah, isn't that lovely? By the way, everyone, I do appreciate your contributions, because I ordered a new gimbal this morning. Just because this one starts to get some funny vibration on it. Now, I've had this, for hundreds of hours of live tours. Oh, somebody left their Calgary Flames hat. This is what we do, though. When you find hats and things like that, you just leave them there, and hopefully people come back and find them.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And gloves, toques, those things are expensive. I mean, a good pair of ski gloves is, $100. Yeah. Yeah, everything's expensive here. And we've just been talking about that too. We have, of course, a huge amount of tourism at the moment, and even people for whom money doesn't matter. Best guess is it cut out simply because everything is so busy at the moment. So I wanted to hang out by the river. Hey, thank you. Thanks, Sarah, for your contribution. Because, there you go. Sometimes you that's the second time it's cut out. I'm very sorry, everyone. That's probably because there's something around 50,000 people here right now in town, a town of 8,400 people. So I'm sorry it keeps cutting out. On the sidewalk, please. Yep. But this is all the back of the White Museum over here. I'm stunned. Cut out twice there, and I mean, I'm in the center of town. So all of this white, Mary Beth was asking about that earlier. This was all the shedding. If you have allergies, you would have had to take something the last couple of weeks. That's coming off all the large trees. The aspen trees, excuse me. And then we also have the dandelions have come and gone. Dandelions come out first of the flowers. And of course you see them, the world over, I think. They are edible, you can make tea out of it. So we're gonna cut across onto Banff Avenue. And folks speaking Spanish there. But hi, thank you, Anne. Big hugs to you. Look at the lovely, lovely flowers. Oh man, sorry, the gimbal is shaking. So we're going to make our way up across and into the center of town. Very interesting building that's coming up on the right over here is a Masonic lodge. And it's interesting because you just don't read a lot about a huge Masonic experience in this part of the world. Hey, Mary Lou. It's only, sorry. Yeah, on my end it says it's cutting out, but who knows? I mean, I keep trying different ways of live streaming. I have no idea why I can't go in landscape now. So we have right away here. So there's the Canada House Gallery. which has beautiful art. A lot of indigenous art in there, which is wonderful, but it's quite expensive as well. But we're gonna head up and have the nice view down Bear Street. And I'm gonna have Mary Beth go on the inside because that's how I was raised. But here, when we look up on the right there, there is the Masonic Lodge. But it's used for remarkably little. The Scouts meet here. But given that we have, you know, some of, well, the most restricted real estate anywhere in this country, and Canada has pretty much the most expensive real estate in the world, this spot must be incredibly valuable. But it dates back to 1924. There's our Magpie and Stump, which is our Mexican restaurant, which is actually good, but I've stopped eating there because they went and doubled all their prices a little while ago. I mean, costs have gone up, but they didn't need to double them. There's Bear Street. There's your first beautiful view of Cascade Mountain down there in front of us. Three Bears restaurant just up to the left. I do recommend that one a lot for people because you can try bison ribs while you're there. And they really are yummy because they're in a berry gravy, and that is how Indigenous people would have eaten their bison historically. Yeah, you know, Polly, it's a good question. So the question was, you know, are saying that they hope they don't take the building down. I'm just not sure what it does. And, you know, we have such a desperate shortage of housing that there's just not a relationship with the community from that building that I'm aware of anyway. So Black Cloud, my friend, owns that hair studio there. And there's the Sushi Bistro. Of course, we're in the sushi belt. And then, of course, even though it's the middle of summer, you can still buy a snowboard here, needless to say. So, and then, oh, the Eddie Burger Bar. I'm never hungry enough to eat an Eddie Burger, but they've got loads of custom burgers that way. And then up on the second floor, I'm sure I've told you this before, Mary Beth, but Melissa's Mistake, the restaurant up top, this way.
Yes.
Yeah, she named it after her first husband.
Oh.
Melissa's Mistake.
Oh my.
Mary Beth has started to look in windows and shops. The Maple Leaf is starting to carry much more Indigenous food as well, which is really fun. Oh, Cascade is stunning. It absolutely is. But there is Sleeping Buffalo Guardian Mountain, or Tunnel Mountain up there. That's where I was last time I did one of these live tours. But see, Banff Avenue this time of year is busy, but totally pedestrianized except for our public buses. And on the side of that bus, you've got cutthroat trout, and then you've got the famous Banff squirrel down here. But these are just wonderful. So Mary Beth, you go stand in the middle of the road right here.
Yeah, I don't
You're gonna stand in the middle of the road. There we are. There you go. Oh, right there, stop. Give us a wave. But there's Cascade, and then up to the left is Stony Lookout Mountain, and that's one I love to go up. And we're not eating out at all, except for Mary Beth is going to have a beaver tail. So your two options is you got a beaver tail right over there,
Okay.
just under that tree there,
Uh-huh.
or there's one more up here.
Okay.
Let's see. Now, I have to show everyone for fun. By the way, there's a big lineup. See the lineup of people just by the Mount Royal Hotel?
Yes.
That's all for Cow's Ice Cream.
Oh my.
So Cow's Ice Cream. Somebody's asking, are you enjoying your time here?
Yes, very much.
But Cow's Ice Cream comes from PEI, and it's famous. And of course, if you ever do an MBA or something, you'll always study how you Canadians apparently buy more ice cream in the winter than the summer. It apparently is not true, but it's an old saying because it's such a cold country.
Oh, yeah.
People go for ice cream just to have that experience. So, you're gonna go for beaver tail?
I am.
All right.
And
Can
then
you see it or not?
Yep.
Yep.
I do.
Okay,
And then
great.
there's the store.
Straight down there, yeah, because then Mary Beth wants to go,
that's
yep, straight. It's at the end of this block. All right,
Okay.
MB, I'm going to turn around so everyone gets a photo
Okay,
of us
okay.
together. There we go.
I'm gonna
See?
go get in line.
Just going to get in line, and I'll call you after.
Okay.
See ya. All right, everyone, let's go for... I really do love this shot with the mountain up behind. Oh, Mary Lou, you don't know beaver tails? Beaver tails started in Ottawa in the Byward Market, but it's really become a Canadian tourism institution. It's a pastry, which is flat and, looks a bit like a beaver's tail. So you have them as pastries. There are some savory ones as well. Look at some of this beautiful art. Isn't it gorgeous? And so that's what a beaver tail is. And this is actually not a long lineup for Cow's Ice Cream. Something you won't catch me doing, but sort of fun. And for those of you who practice Christmas, there's the spirit of Christmas, and it's Christmas 365 days. This Quivik is interesting because this is the wool off the of the muskox, which is the last mastodon in North America, and it is actually the most expensive wool in the world. So Jacques Cartier. It's interesting. Finn thinks that that's actually money laundering somehow. I don't think it is, but you hardly see anyone in there. But when everything costs a fortune, you don't need that many people to turn over from time to time. Now, this building that they're still renovating is the old Hudson's Bay Company. Mountain Warehouse has moved in here, and they renovated this building. So we need a little more retail, and we actually need, it's funny to say, but we need a little less in the way of restaurants. And that's because we've got like 200 eateries in a town that's, this small. But it also matters because restaurants require more staff, and more staff means more housing. And more housing is a problem when you're in an absolute unbridled housing crisis. Oh, I should have sent Mary Beth to this one. It's actually less busy. So here's Beaver Tails Pastry Coffee. Oh, since 1978. You can also get a poutine there as well. Yes, when Diane is here, she has one every time as well. But it's lots of fun. There's the Elk and Oarsman, by the way. You can have elk tacos up there, which is a yummy thing to have. So it is pretty neat. And then, of course, we have this very Swiss-looking clock tower mall, and that's the Banff breweries up there and some other shops. And here's the Keg, which is a very Canadian chain, started in North Vancouver, but of course a steakhouse. Although really, if you're really going to splurge for a steak in Banff, you go up to Chuck's on the second floor at the end of this block, because they have their own ranch in southern Alberta. And so, and we would say that Alberta beef is arguably the best beef in the world. Añejo over there is another Mexican kind of higher end. It is good, but their basic little margaritas are $10, and you drink them in about 3 sips. So I avoid it because I don't need 3 margaritas, but also they're tasty drinks. So this is a nice, so you can actually get if you like a beer down here, I always have the Black Pilsner. So now Finn was actually in Chabad last night in Calgary at synagogue, and there was someone speaking who had been a part of one of the communities that was attacked on October 7th last year. So I'm hoping he was able to record some of it. He'll be here in the next half hour. So, it was probably quite a heavy night there. And so big hugs to our friends in Israel too, because I know there were some drone strikes today on Tel Aviv. Karen saying all very high calories. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I don't tend to worry about that because, when I go out and do 2 or 3 hours of exercise every day, I just, but then I haven't eaten yet today. I shouldn't say that. I juiced my greens this morning, but then I'm doing my fasting till, I just told an absolute untruth. I have eaten. That's why I don't feel hungry. I cooked waffles for Mary Beth right at noon. So I done my fast. So that's why. But look at all the traffic right now. This is why they say park and ride your bike or drive. So they've come over the bridge, and the people who live on the far side, in fact, we have a plebiscite happening in August. And the big debate is whether they keep Banff Avenue pedestrianized. For what it's worth, I will vote for it. And I think all my neighbors will, but people who live, a third of Banff lives on the other side of the bridge, and they will vote against it. And quite rightly so, because town wasn't designed to be pedestrianized that way. There's some very noisy ravens up above, so that's one of the challenges. Mary Lou, I intermittent fast every day. Yep. So about 15 hours. When I travel's not as easy, obviously. But yeah, so my last bit of food last night was 9:30, which is late for me. But that's very interesting. Sorry, I'll come back to that second point. But yeah, so I fast every day, and then a good friend of mine who lives up in Edmonton does a 5-day fast once a year, and I gotta say he's super healthy. So he's aiming to live to 130. So as long as I have the ability to enjoy my life right through then and all the things I like to do, then I'd love to live that long. I just want to bring you down. So yeah, the discussion about pedestrianized Banff Avenue, it's because of course we're crossing, I keep saying 7 million visitors. I'm really looking forward to when they give us the actual counts this year, because it does feel busier again than it did last year. But let's come down here just for a second. Hi. I just want to come down and show you these gorgeous bison, because we have the art in nature. Do you know, sometime before the end of the summer, Carpe Diem, I agree. Before the end of the summer, I need to come and do the art walk again this year. But look at all these bison. This is Keegan Starlight, who I gather is going to be an Indigenous artist. What a great name. I wish my surname was Starlight. That's really beautiful surname. So, of course, bison were reintroduced to the park in 2017. And this was always a hunting corridor here. This is Jason Carter. He's a very, very well-known Dene artist. And then this one at the back here, so I just want to see whose name is attached to it. It's pretty cool. This is Dawn Marie Marchand. Oh, all right, good French-Canadian name. Look at that lovely bison. And you do know Finn is going off to university in September, so I'm going to have to say to him, bye, son. I know it's predictable, but still. So let's just come down and have a little peek at the water here because it is beautiful. And I do hope everyone is healthy and happy. And of course, there's a lot of news to discuss. I might do a little video, but hopefully we can all revive something really positive. But look at this. Now, the water is dropping, so we've been at high water, but you will remember only 2 months ago, I could walk halfway out there, right? But you can see how we can see through it here. So the snow melt has just about happened, and this is typical. This is late July. That's when it happens. You'll see the deep turquoise, and it'll just become more and more turquoisey the next month. There's the Buffalo Luxton Museum over there, the Treaty 7 flag, although it's not flying, and Sulphur Mountain. Now, the other one, of course, everyone loves looking at Cascade, but also look at that beautiful view of Mount Rundle up there. It is pretty spectacular. So the other place that I swim is actually down by the other pedestrian bridge on the far side, but already the water level's dropped enough that I have to walk quite a ways out to get kind of, neck deep, and then I'm right in the current. So already I might be finished. So we did have a bit of rain the other day, which was nice. And we're getting smoke. I think our smoke is coming from fires in Oregon, believe it or not, everyone. And then of course, I hear, some of the northern states, Wisconsin, Minnesota are getting some smoke from Canadian fires. There's Mount Norquay in the distance. Oh, by the way, that raven, if you can hear it, it's going, grr, grr. That is actually talking. That is saying, look at this. Oh, sorry, it's a magpie. They've actually deciphered. They will point with their wings and their beaks. So it literally is saying, check that out. And there's quite a lot, you can Google this, there's quite a lot written online about their actual spoken language, which is pretty amazing, I think. I think it's even more than just amazing. I think it's just a spectacular thing. So very, very smart animals. They stay all winter and they're generational. So it's a wonderful thing to see. So it's nice to see everyone wandering along. Here's another beautiful, oh, the plaque is missing. So may the forest heal your hearts. And because that's orange, that is talking about, of course, every child matters. I totally agree that the magpies have self-awareness. They're spectacular animals. One day I cooked pizza at home, which I do all the time with pita bread, came outside and there were a few ravens nearby and they started chatting when I came out with the food. And they literally were coming by and pointing at me. So, at the food. So I didn't leave it outside. So yeah, well, listen, everyone. Thank you for spending this half hour. Time blew by. But I know I haven't been doing a lot of videos. I'm very, very busy, in a good way. And it's lovely. Mary Beth was actually meant to be up for my birthday for a few days, and she comes about twice a year. Of course, we've known her for years and years and years. And she has, when Finn's flown through Houston, she's gone and picked him up. So that's why she has a close relationship with my family. But the idea was to cool off a bit. And the mornings are still cool by her standards, and then hot. But yeah, lots going on. And I sent out a big update about my trip to Japan, which is now full and closed. Sent that out today. And for those of you who are considering coming to Costa Rica and Nicaragua, I'm going to send out a big update about that later today, probably. So lots going on. And by the way, Mary Beth keeps pushing me because I will have in late January another winter Rockies trip here. But and of course, Oaxaca. So lots getting planned, but also a lot of private trips for next year. So if you're thinking about some world travel, do get in contact as soon as possible because it will get booked up. So I'm blocking off dates. But all that noted, I just want to say a big peace and love from Banff Avenue. So nice to connect with all of you. And so for all my, I do see my American friends because it matters, but also for our friends from around the world, there's some big changes politically happening right now. Just remember that if something smells a bit like authoritarianism or fascism, then it probably is. And you know, I have a bit of a public voice and I will use it as much as possible. But thanks everyone for your friendship and your support here. I'll come out onto Banff Avenue here. And the reason I'll do that is you get some more just lovely views right down here. Of course, the classic 3Ms of Canadian tourism, Mounties, Moose, and Mountains. Now, I did walk past a Mountie, but not in the red outfit, and no moose, because we have very few moose here in Banff. But feel free, please, to share these videos. Those little shorts I do all the time. Feel free just to share them on your social media, but please keep sharing the one about them trying to reinstate grizzly bear hunt in this province, because I'm gonna have to do some more about that. I'm so bothered by it, but I don't want to finish on a heavy thing like that. So big hugs to everyone all around. Peace and love from beautiful Banff. And I hope you have a very, very happy Sunday wherever you are in the world. Take care and thanks for your friendship, everyone.